yes, you guys are gonna tune in and watch my hot takes on Avatar: The Last Airbender. I will be talking about things that I would love to have seen in the show. I'm talking about things that I wish happened. I'm talking about my top seven characters. Yes, top seven. Ghetto Kirby, I'm already made an appearance. You trying to hype me up, man? But yeah, I got inspired off of my Star Wars stream when I was talking. I had 6 viewers on that one, so it seemed like a lot of people were interested in my Star Wars discussion. I will make one for that, but I feel like combining those with the Star Wars gameplay kind of goes well. But for today, I really didn't feel like playing anything. Honestly, I have somewhere to be later too, so like I was like, what can I do? Something quick, something I'm passionate about, something I'll have a ton of energy for. And I just finished Avatar last week again, and seeing it for the second time made me appreciate it even more. So I am hyped for this. I honestly wanted to do something like this, but I kind of scared to just because I didn't know if I would be educated enough. But I'm like, I watched it. I watched it more than once. I watched it more than twice. This is probably my fourth, fifth time watching it. And I have a lot of opinions on it. And I feel like you guys might debate my top seven, but I feel like my reasoning behind my top seven is honestly pretty chef's kiss. So let's see if you guys agree, right? And let me stop wasting your time. Oh, and per usual, please support BLM in any way you can. Donations, protesting, social media posting, whatever you guys can. I mean, if it's in your power to do something, do it. If it's not, no harm to you. You did all you could. Awesome. With that being said, before I hear any bias, oh, just because you favor a nation over the other, I don't want to hear that. So I'm going to take the airbending quiz. I'm going to let y'all know straight up who I identify as. I'm going to give you little concrete evidence just so I don't hear like, oh, he's biased towards blah, blah, blah. Right? So I'm going to give you that bias straight up. And what we're going to do is simply, sorry. Woo! Last night was crazy. Okay, allthetest.com. 21 questions. We'll do this relatively quick, guys. As part of this doesn't involve fighting, so think of the tactic. Let's see. 33% waterbender. Holy sheesh. Oh, my score wasn't clear. I could also get 33% firebender. Ooh, hoo, hoo. 19% earthbender. Okay. So yeah, I knew I wasn't gonna be an airbender, bro. I don't have the patience to deal with stuff. Not a big fan of that. I got my own rod now. I'll be shocked. Yeah, man, congrats on that rod, dude. Fishing's beautiful. Anyways, before I get distracted, stop irking me in that chat, man. Avatar to me was a phenomenal TV show. Do not get me wrong. When I critique it just for my opinion. My opinion, I think the show's great as is. I'm happy with the way it turned out. But my critiques are more so for what I wish would be on there, right? So nobody come for me. This is literally just for me. Like if the creators like, let's make Miri all in one's version of Avatar. This is what it would be for, right? And if you guys agree, let me know. So this is what I would talk about first. Everything Book of Water I enjoyed a lot. It addressed a lot of issues. I feel like that's when we really got to know the family aspect of Aang. And I agree with when they explained. I know a lot of YouTubers have explained, so I'll explain it here. If you guys haven't seen those videos, uh they when Iroh's going through like the elements, water and all that stuff, and explaining it, like water, like keeping that familial bond. Aang got his family. He lost his family, and then he gained a new family with Katara and Sokka. And I really enjoy how they introduced them. I really enjoy how it was brought together. I like how they were facing turmoil within their own life, and then here comes the Avatar to kind of answer their questions, kind of get the South Pole and the North Pole back in those good graces, right? So spoilers alert to anyone who hasn't watched it, but I mean, show's pretty old. Um, trying to throw hands. Yeah, okay, Carlos. I appreciate the commentary, man, but you might catch some feedback for a lot of these opinions. And you guys feel free to answer anything while I'm going through it as well. I'll answer those as soon as I can as well. But the North and South Pole, I think, was a big thing for the world at that time, because now you're starting to see unity. Word of the Avatar is spreading. Hell, hope is back. Hope is back, Fire Nation. Watch out. Be on alert because your days are numbered. Right? Boom. Book 1, Chef's Kiss. Couldn't have gone better. Whew. The only critique I had was that there was kind of a plot hole for everything, right? And Casper's right here chilling on my glass desk. Neither here nor there right now. But the only thing I would change in that is I understand there was a plot hole with the moon spirit, right? Because the moon spirit saved the princess's life. So she had some of the moon spirit in her, right? Okay, I get that. I get that, right? But this transferring of energy back and forth. So when, I forget his name, but when the Firebender General came and killed the fish, killed the moon spirit, I think that should have been it. That should have been a win for the Fire Nation. And that should have been an obstacle they would have to overcome, right? Like, how are we now gonna change? Like, the Water Nation is weakened. That should be a gain for the Fire Nation, right? But no, obviously we all know what happened. Katara, not Katara, Aang then converted the moon spirit that was in the princess's body. Hold on. I don't think I'm making sense right now. But when he converted her back into the moon spirit, that was an issue for me. Like, that's kind of cheesing your way out of that situation. It makes sense, but come on now. That should have been a victory for the Fire Nation, and I would have loved to see how Aang would have reacted. I felt like it would have added a lot more depth to him. It would have made him push more towards that darker side. Because when Aang got pushed to that darker side, bro, I was geeking out for a second. Like, don't get me wrong, I want the Avatar to be neutral, but like, it would have been so dope. We got a glimpse. But to see it all pile up, and then, it would have added some flavor to that. But that's my only critique of book 1. Yeah, she turned into the one, bro. So they put in the moon back, helped the Water Nation, right? It makes sense. But I would have loved to see how that would have. So, like, the specific point I'm trying to build up to is that the moon spirit, then, when they got hit, when they got, like, say the moon was out, no more moon, the waterbenders would be weakened, right? So that's one nation down that's not at full power. Fire Nation still has the comet, Zozen's comet coming. So that would have, made an even bigger difference. And then for the solstice invasion, they would have been the other 3 tribes would not have been at full strength without the Water Nation being at full strength. Right. Okay. Boom. And to add on to the Aang darker side, when he lost Appa, when Aang lost Appa, you could see that gear switching in his head, going like, why am I being neutral if these people are literally coming and killing my bison, bro? Like, for no good reason other than to sell them and make quick bucks. These were the same people who were paid to protect the professor to find the library, right? So now you add that the moon spirit's gone. The Fire Nation destroyed the moon spirit. You add an Apple's kidnapping. You already add that Toph is brand new into the environment, and they already have some type of way towards Toph. Now Aang is crazy. He's not stable. He's going crazy. Maybe he makes his first murder. Maybe Katara can't save him in that position. Next thing you know, you couldn't defend the moon spirit. Appa's gone. Katara, your family's ripping apart at the seams. And Katara hugging you ain't gonna do jack shit. That's just me being me. Like, that would have been interesting to see Aang kill someone and come to terms with that. To be like, wow, part of me being the Avatar, I can kill someone like that. You have that power. I don't like you, bam. You did something to go against me, bam. Like, that would have been interesting to me. I know that's not, the perfect lovey-dovey story or whatever, but being able to see the Avatar kill someone, because we know all the other Avatars have. Maybe not intentionally, but they did. Like, how could you be in that position? I get it's a kid's show, but a lot of it isn't. Like, you have to kill someone at some point. Would that have maybe shifted him from wanting to find out a different way to handle the Fire Lord? Would that have made him maybe want to pursue and killing him instead of finding that alternative, right? That he had to go on a spiritual journey to even find out about in the first place. I think that would have been an interesting path to follow for maybe a book, half a book, not just an episode or two, it would have been crazy to me. But see, that's what you think now. He overcame that. He was gonna kill someone. He was gonna kill those sand benders, those earth benders. I like the question. He wouldn't kill someone, but You add the Moon Spirit being gone. You add Appa being taken. I feel like Aang at that point would have definitely murdered. Ooh, he would have murdered that Sandbender. I guarantee it. And then that would have been even more phenomenal. Seeing how he would come into bossing Say, because that would not have been sweet. They wouldn't have come in there with Jolie or Jodie or whatever her name is, and taken that BS. I don't think so. I really don't think so. So that covers kind of book 1 and book 2 for me. Um, book 3, Fire. I think book 3, Fire, was probably my second. I liked Earth, but Earth was kind of to me. Fire, I think, would be the second. I like Water first, Fire second, and Earth third. But with Fire, I like Iroh's presence throughout the whole books. Kind of trying to shift Zuko, shift Zuko, shift Zuko, and still staying shift Zuko even when Zuko betrayed him. But I feel like book 3 is more about Zuko's journey, Zuko's redemption, Zuko being a contributing member to Team Avatar. And honestly, that was very, very interesting to me. Seeing someone who swore to regain his honor by taking on the Avatar, by killing the Avatar, basically switch sides and being like, "Hey, I'm here to help. I'm here to, I'm here to give you firebending." And then the minute his struggle, his passion, his rage was to find the Avatar. The minute that went away, he lost firebending, and then they had to find out that there was still 2 dragons left. Find the Sun People, team up with the Avatar to figure out this whole original firebending out. That was sick. That was a beautiful time. Zuko, yeah, I agree with you, Caro7. Zuko was probably the best addition to the show, and he had a WWE esque turnover, right? He went from the heel to now, John Cena, right? And coming in, saving the day, yada yada, because he gave Aang that, that confidence, like, fire ain't deadly, bro. And he learned that from the Sun People too. And I feel like Zuko played a crucial role in taking out the Fire Lord, because if Zuko wasn't available, nobody was gonna teach Aang firebending. And then he wouldn't have been at full strength against Fire Lord. I forget, I think it's not Sozin, but Fire Lord, I forget. Fire Lord something. He was not gonna be at full strength. He wouldn't understand fire. He'd be more scared of fire than he was when he learned fire. So I feel like the Fire Lord would have had advantage in that regard. Aang would be crippled in a sense. He would not be an avatar. He would be 3/4 of an avatar. But the Fire book was great. I liked it. Wouldn't change a thing other than the ending. Of course, I know a lot of people feel this way, but I think, yeah, you took away his bending. You gave him a punishment worse than death, but just that symbolic thing that no one's gonna get to be this evil and live. Like, you did atrocious war crimes. You literally burned your own son. Like, you are an evil man, and even just your influence would influence other people. Like, come on, like, and I don't think the transition would have been as smooth. Okay, Zuko's now Fire Lord. How many people would have agreed with that? You saw how uptight all the Fire Lord boomer, not Fire Lord, Fire Nation boomers were. They're strict regiment, no dancing, nothing. So, like, he would still have a following, and just because you took his bending away, yeah, they lost their leader, but damn near half the Fire Nation was ready to fight, except for the youth. The only people who wanted change and peace was the Fire Nation youth. So I feel like it would not have been as smooth of a transition. There definitely would be some assassination attempts there. I think with killing him, you would have made him a martyr, but in that expense, it would be some fear in the Fire Nation boomers, right? Because the youth are already like, we love the Avatar. The Avatar is our boy. He taught us how to dance. He taught us how to step. They was crumping in the cave. They was having a good old time. So I feel like the death was necessary, but they plot hole their way out of it, and then we never got to really see what happened after, right? Because we went straight into Korra, and then you learn of some backstory. But I think that would have been a rougher transition the way the show ended anyway. So I don't know if you guys agree with that. I don't know if you disagree with that, but that's just my take. I don't think it would have been smooth. Um, I think a lot more people would be like Jet too, and then those people who were on Team Avatar would then want revenge on those who kind of molded them in the wrong way, right? So there would have definitely been some civil war in the Fire Nation, and then just because you took down the Fire Lord's capital and you killed the Fire Lord, how did you retake every other city? Ba Sing Se, we saw how they overtook Ba Sing Se. But what about everywhere else? We know Bumi handled his town, but what about, all the other Earth kingdoms and all the other Fire Nation presence? They damn near controlled the whole world. So it would have been interesting to see that. I will now be doing my top 7 characters in the show. I feel like this is why a lot of you tuned in for my top 7. So my top 7, I will go in order from 7 to 1. And you guys can debate this all you want. You guys can talk about this all you want too. But this is my list. I'm sticking to my list. And yeah, y'all gonna have to deal with that. So my number 7. I'm going by importance to the story as well. I'm going by importance, like who I deemed to have helped Aang and the Fire Nation, right? So I'm going 7. 7 will probably be Sokka for me. I'm gonna go Sokka because Sokka was there to be a comedic relief, there to be a let's click to this one. Let's click to this picture. He was there to be comedic relief. He was, the non-bender, and then he was kind of there to, I feel like, to show Aang that, even without having powers, courage was a tremendous thing for people to have, people to rise up, from common villagers and stuff to not accept the fight, fight back essentially. So I feel like, you need those comedic reliefs in tough times. So I feel like Sokka was important in keeping Aang's head relatively cool. But when it came down to all the major moments, how many times did Sokka want to, fight Aang? Like, let's go when they first found him. Like, what the hell? Like, is he a Fire Nation undercover? When he burned Katara by accident. Like, yes, he was being a good brother, but he's like, you burned my sister and blah, blah, blah. Like, how could you? Like, bro, he was just learning. He got carried away. I get it. Like, it's your sister. Yada yada. And then when they were calling Aang selfish and stuff like that, wanting to leave Team Avatar. I don't know, but like I feel like Sokka, it was kind of in the middle between helping and not helping. So I put him at 7 just for the comedic relief aspect, keeping the avatars, cool in some bad situations, keeping the group entertaining. So that's Sokka's my 7th. 6, I will go with 6. I will go with Evil Zuko. I'm splitting Zuko into 2 parts. I'm going Evil Zuko before he made this switch. I don't know if I can do this. I know a lot of you guys will probably be mad at me for this, but I feel like Evil Zuko kept Aang on his toes. Constant fighting, constant facing someone who's more skilled than he was in terms of the bending aspect. Like Aang's a great airbender, and then Zuko's a great firebender. And then having that chase, that constant conflict to keep Aang on his toes. So, like, letting Aang know, like, hey, this is just a fraction of what you're going to have to face eventually with Fire Lord, his dad, Zuko's dad, I forget his name, so don't get on me for that. But Evil Zuko, I feel like, helped Aang kind of test himself where he was at, what he could handle. They ultimately ended up running away. Sometimes he beat him in the first matchup, but not, after that, you could say Zuko won every match, and Aang kind of got out because of his airbending, right? I put him at 6. Evil Zuko 6. Alright, if that's one person. Fine. If I have to combine them, Zuko's not 6 then. Zuko's not 6, but if it was just the Evil Zuko, I would put him at 6. Let's see here. 6, I would put, this is hard. I would put 6, not Appa, not Momo. I don't want to say Toph. Toph for me is either 5 or 6. Because Toph basically showed him the contradictory side, right? But you know what? Fuck it. I'm putting Toph at 6. She was my 5 or 6th. But I feel like Toph showed him how to be more grounded. Showed him how to learn something he's not used to. Learn the opposite of what he is. Toph, I know a lot of people are gonna be mad with this such a low placement for Toph, and I'm kind of debating it right now too. But she was either gonna be my 5 or 6, and I value this other person more than Toph for now. But Toph showed him one of the hardest bending for him personally, helped him overcame, showed him confidence, showed him how to lead, be sturdy, be strong in the face of adversity. Even though she was blind, she was the best earthbender around, bro. Such a young age, a prodigy. I feel like she related a lot with Aang in that sense because Aang is a prodigy. He's the fucking Avatar, right? So that felt like helped complete a part of him, right? The Earth side helped complete, show him that steadiness, that groundness, that like I can't get too emotional. Helped him not go back to that evil Avatar state that we were talking about earlier, right? So Toph definitely deserves to be in the top 7. Maybe not 6, maybe not even 5, but that's where I have her as 6. So I have Sokka and Toph, 7 Sokka, 6 Toph, and then 5 I will go. I'll put Zuko 5. And the reason I put Zuko 5 as a whole is, again, I already explained the evil side, kept him on his toes. But the thing with Zuko is that Zuko wouldn't be who he is without his uncle. So that's a spoiler too I'm going to have above later on in this list. But yeah, Zuko is definitely 5. Um, his main contribution didn't come to the last book when he tried to help everyone, kind of setting himself feet back, hint hint, when he burned Toph's feet. But what I appreciate about him is, honestly, I don't think Aang would have defeated the Fire Lord without Zuko. I already said that. His contributions to Avatar was teaching him the element he was most scared of, showing him to be more aggressive, showing him to see light in the dark, if that makes sense. Understanding. So maybe this is also a reason why Aang pursued that not killing the Fire Lord. He's like, okay, if Zuko can make that flip, someone who vowed to hunt me, someone who vowed to restore his honor, someone who had everything on the line to kill or capture the Avatar could change. Why couldn't Fire Lord, right? To more extreme levels, though. Like, Zuko and the Fire Lord were at different morality levels, obviously. But I feel like that's an underlying thing for me that I noticed was like, okay, Aang was like, if I can change Zuko, why can't the Fire Lord? So I feel like that's the play Zuko had. He showed light in the darkness, if that makes sense. And I think that was a pivotal point in the series. I think that's why I put Zuko at 5. Yeah, as a complete person, since I can't split them, because I feel like Light Zuko would be higher. But as a complete person, you can't outweigh the bad stuff. It was very minimal, other than keeping him on his toes, letting him know the dangers ahead. But I feel like his bad side kind of drags him down in that list. So yeah, Zuko would be my 5th top 7 Avatar character. My fourth, um, my fourth top 7 Avatar: The Last Airbender character would definitely have to be Avatar Roku. And this might not be, it might be cheating a little bit, but I feel like Avatar Roku was Aang's spiritual guide. I know it's Appa, right? That's his spiritual animal that helps him traverse and all that. But Roku really helped Aang get his thoughts together until the end, right? When there's like, oh, you have to kill him. No, he ignored him on that. But everything else, like Roku really gave him the cheat codes, and like that's part of being the Avatar, right? So in any Avatar show, you'll always see me choose the Avatar spiritual guide in the top, whatever. I don't care, because without that guidance, the Avatar wouldn't be who he is. He wouldn't be the almighty figure, yada yada yada. But Avatar Roku for sure held it down, gave Aang solid advice up until the end, right? To some people, I thought he gave him rock solid advice because that was his best friend who he wanted him to murder. So that's some fucking logic if I ever saw any. And Roku helped Aang, make these decisions, stay cool, stay calm. Like, look, this is what I would have done. And, he has there's a great deal of respect there. So it had to come from Roku, because sometimes when his friends suggested things, he didn't always necessarily follow it, right? Or he got in a mood or he got emotional. So seeing that growth, Roku's definitely top 4 for me. That guidance was invaluable. So now in my top 3, I feel like this is where I'll get a lot of heat, because I have one character on there that might seem silly to put on there, but without it, the show is cheeks. The show doesn't make no sense. You're not traveling like crazy and stuff like that. So before I spoil it, let me go to my third. My third most valuable Avatar character. I'm going Uncle Iroh, bro. Uncle Iroh was a beast in the show. I don't think the show would be the same without Uncle Iroh, bro. Without guiding Zuko, boom, you don't learn fire. You're not learning fire. You can throw that out the window. The Avatar's incomplete because that general did not want to teach him early, and there was no way he was gonna find him again, right? Because Aang was in two different spaces when they found the Lotus, or the Lotus people, right? And by then it was too late anyway. So Iroh would be 3. Iroh, I mean, I can point to many of examples. Teaching Zuko, befriending Toph, being helping the Avatar escape when he got shot through lightning with Azula, and giving Katara the chance to get him out of there. So I think without Iroh, the Avatar's dead. I think, yeah, if Iroh died, the season would have been over. Fire Lord would have won, and the Fire Nation would have took over until maybe the next Avatar came or something, man. Because what are you gonna do? Iroh, major key factor. Top 3. Number 2, I'm going Katara. Katara is my number 2 Avatar character. Not just because she's the love interest, not just because she held, her and Aang ended up together. No, and she had the healing power. Yeah, that's amazing too, right? Without Katara, Aang would also be dead because Iroh could have, guided all she wanted, but Azula still threw that lightning. I don't think Katara not being there would have changed that outcome. So her being alive and there and present with the healing water from the north, game changer. That's why I consider her a little bit above Iroh. But you could flip flop Katara and Iroh. But without Katara's special healing powers, the show would have been over. That would have been it. The Fire Nation would have won until the next Avatar. Oh no, because he died in the Avatar state. So the Fire Nation would have killed the Avatar, and that would have made it worse. So yeah, so Katara number 2 makes a lot of sense to me. Maybe even 1. But I still consider this other character, and it might be silly to some of you guys, as my number 1 Avatar character. And you know what? The comments might go crazy for this one. But my number 1 Avatar character is Appa. Hands down, Appa. Because, bear with me now. I consider Appa number 1 because you're not traveling at the speed you're traveling without Appa. You're not, I mean, unless you're going by yourself, and, Aang by himself is not all the way there. He's still a kid. Appa gave him the ability to transport a lot of people, save a lot of people. Appa saved him from a lot of situations. When Appa got kidnapped, Aang didn't know what to do. I feel like Appa was a crutch for Aang. Appa was a friend of the past, him and Momo. Honestly, you could probably group them together, but Momo, I don't think, I think Aang could survive without Momo, right? The addition of Momo was just kind of like another air relic, another air presence, to be that crutch. But I feel like Appa was the glue. Appa was the reason. Because when he lost Appa, you saw how he flipped out. He's like, I don't want to talk to Roku. I don't want to talk to Katara. I don't want to talk to Sokka. I don't want to even talk to Toph. So Appa was definitely the glue, and without him, I don't think you beat the Fire Lord. So yeah, that rounds out my top 7. I'll list it again for you guys. Sokka, 7. 6 was Toph. 5 was Zuko. 4 was who did I have 4th? Oh, Avatar Roku was 4. So it goes 7 Sokka, 6 Toph, 5 Zuko, 4 Roku, 3 Iroh, 2 Katara, and number 1 Appa. I think for me, and maybe some people out there, that's my list. That's a good-hearted list right there. Yeah, I think from importance to the story, at least to the story, that a lot of people would side with that. Maybe if you guys disagree, let me know. What would you flip around? What would you consider more important? And I don't consider Aang, because I consider Aang being the story. I guess Aang is a character, right? But I just think to the importance of the story. Obviously, without Aang, there's no fucking story. So you dead giveaway number 1. So when I consider, I guess I should have put this other than the Avatar. But I agree. There it is. Top 7 list right there. Boom, boom. Who are your top favorite characters, not including storyline? Top 5. What do you mean? Like, Like not towards the importance of the story, just like characters that I personally like. Uh, if that's what you mean, Caro 7. Because if that's what you mean, like if it's not important to the storyline, like characters that I personally just like, that's pretty easy to me. I'll go number one, Zuko. Zuko's my favorite character of all time. His transition was crazy, like I said. I just a lot you could learn, a lot you could learn from Zuko. And then number two would be Iroh. Obviously, the guidance he shows, the patience. He's just a funny guy. Like very manipulative too. Like when everyone thought he was just some big fat lump and like he wasn't the Dragon of the West, but then when it came time, that fool came out. I appreciate that. Like a lot of the life lessons ones, and then like going a little less serious, like Momo would be my third. He would just always be cheesing me, like based on like characters. Yeah, okay, so just casual. Three would be Momo, just because like you just geek at him, bro. Like he would just be hella funny. Him and Sokka were honestly, I would put Momo Sokka. Momo Sokka at three. They're a duo. I wouldn't take them separate. Momo and Sokka were for sure comedic relief. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed them a lot. So I'm combining them. I don't care what you have to say about that. They're Momosaka's three. Four would be definitely the Swamp People. The Swamp People is a funny ass episode when they were the leaves and stuff. It was just crazy. Like, oh, y'all are waterbenders? We thought we were the only waterbenders. I don't know. I like that a lot. It's just crazy. It reminds me of Florida. No offense to anyone who's watching from Florida, but for casual characters, for sure the Swamp People. So that would be four, and then my fifth casual character, the Cabbages guy, bro. That's such a meme, but like whenever it showed up, you had to geek, bro. So, my Cabbages, like that guy. Hold on, I have to see a picture of that. That shit is hella funny. My Cabbages. Look, if you just look at it, like you just Google it, bro. Go top five casual character for sure. Maybe I have him too low. This guy was a G. He got a meme after him after all. So that shit's cool. Her and him and Judy. Judy. Biggest impact too, outside of Avatar. And look at that, bro. Like that's funny as hell. Like the Cabbages. Like that, yeah. He'd round out my top five. So I guess it would be one would be Zuko, two would be Iroh, three would be Momo and Sokka, four would be the Swamp People, and five would be the My Cabbages guy. So I don't know how you feel about that one for my casual. Not important to the storyline, but for the casual, yeah, this guy's a G. I like him. uh, Biggest cultural impact, dude. Yeah, it's Cabbage's staying. The top two is Zuko and Iroh. Zuko and Iroh for sure. Zuko and Iroh. Thoughts on the Dai Li? The Dai Li were some bitches. I will flat out say that. Let me Google these fools. These fools were the biggest bitches in the show. Not him. I don't know who he is, but from Avatar. The Dai Li were definitely some bitches because they were supposed to be the secret agency for the Earth Kingdom, right? Like you're bred to be loyal to the Earth Kingdom, except for maybe in their regard, they were bred to be loyal to what's his name? It should be over here. So Kyoshi made them, right? So they were an Avatar. It's like, oh god, them and the Fire Sages pissed me off. Except for the one that offered. At least in the Fire Sages, you had one that offered to help. Nobody in the Dai Li wanted to help the Avatar, and they were founded by Avatar Kyoshi. Like that's so fucked up. And they were protecting the cultural heritage of Ba Sing Se, right? And then what's his name? Grand Secretariat Long Fang, bro, took over the Dai Li and basically made the Earth King into a figurehead. And then they were loyal to the Dai Li. I mean, they were loyal to Long Fang. And that makes sense, right? Okay, so far so good. You're not some bitches. You at least switch to your allegiance, but you're still technically loyal to the Earth Kingdom. You want to preserve Ba Sing Se, and there's no war. Okay, I get it. That's still loyalty to at least your Earth Kingdom. But then Azula came. Bruh, a Fire Nation. There's a war. You could end it by capturing you couldn't end it, but you could at least capture a high ranking Fire Nation official right there, right? You had her at the palm of your hands. No. What do? You betray Long Fang and you take over Azula. Bro, I guess she took over Ba Sing Se, but then you follow her to the Fire Nation? And then when they were defenseless and you could have taken her out, you don't? Make it make sense, bro. The Dai Li bitches. They had no loyalty to anything. They were like minions. Have you guys watched the Minions movie? The minions were like, boss, boss, looking for a boss. The Dai Li, I'm gonna meme that. That's a fucking actually great analogy. The Dai Li are fucking minions, bro. They literally are just looking for the strongest boss. They're no loyalty to anything but strength and whoever's in charge of bossing say, I guess. But I'm curious. Now, that's a great question, Fed. That's a great question because I'm curious what happened to them after the war. Do you disband the Dai Li now? They're traitors. They're traitors to everyone. They're traitors to the Fire Nation. They're traitors to the Earth King. They're traitors to everybody. Sheesh, the Dai Li some bitches. Avatar Kyoshi should come back from the grave and kill them, bro. Azula? Ooh. I have a lot to say about Azula. I know why she's fucked up, but then I can't agree with it because you grew up under the same circumstances as Zuko, except Azula made the poor choice of idolizing her father. Her father gave no fucks about anybody. It doesn't matter. He killed his grandpa, or she killed his grandpa because the grandpa wanted him to kill Zuko. Hoof. And that's the probably the most humane thing. Zuko's Fire Lord, whatever, I forget his name. I need to Google this real quick. It's bugging me. It bugs me that I don't know his name. Zuko Ozai. Yeah, Ozai. The only thing that saved Zuko was his mom. I think the mom killed Sozin. Not Sozin. Yeah, Sozin. Killed Sozin in order to save Zuko's life by making Ozai Fire Lord. Bruh. And then Azula was like, I'm daddy's favorite. I'm next in line, blah, blah, blah. No, your dad don't give a fuck about you. Only reason he promoted you to Fire Lord is because he's going to be Fire Phoenix or whatever. So I think Azula was batshit crazy. I think she knew she was batshit crazy because when they were on that beach episode, she showed some humanity aspects and like dudes were like digging her and like people were like, oh, okay, you're like us. You have emotions, you have fears, and that she was scared to address them because she was trying to be like her dad. So I feel like Azula just chose wrong. But then again, no one was there for Azula, or she didn't let anyone be there for Azula. Because she had Mei Li and Tai Fong or something like that, right? I could be butchering that as well. But she refused to accept their guidance, kind of like Zuko kind of brushed off his uncle, but took it in, like he would brush it, but not like he'd be like the guy saying, get off me, and like nobody would be holding him back, right? Hold me back, and nobody would be holding him back, right? So yeah, Azula fucked up her own. She's crazy in the noggin. Could she be turned? Maybe, but I just thought she made a lot of stupid decisions. Um, yeah, okay. I know. I appreciate it, man. That brought me up to the hour. I don't know what you think about my answers, but I think Azula was definitely a head case. Maybe they should take away her bending as well. That's also like, you think Azula would have just sat idly by and watched Zuko? Like, there had to be some conflict there. You can make another season just on that alone. Like, I think people would like to see maybe Zuko trying to get in Azula's head and like, hey, it's okay. Like, we're all now at peace. Like, it's all right. Now you don't have to conquer everything. Fear's not better than love, stuff like that. And that would have been something to watch. But yeah, man, good questions. You actually made me think about it. And like the Dai Li are minions. I'm fucking tweeting that the minute I get off a stream. Like, that's a great fucking comparison. Fucking no loyalty except to the most powerful thing around them. I hate the Dai Li. So shamelessly plugging some things. We recorded a little quick video yesterday. It should be out by Friday. We booked our next guest for our podcast interview. It'll be a more serious podcast, but just stay tuned for that. I want to shout out everyone who stayed on the stream today. I know it was quick. We had a lot of viewership. It kind of went down, but I appreciate you guys who stick through it. Shout out to Fed for all the good questions, man. Good stuff. Let me know what you think, though. Like I said, I want this to be as entertaining as possible, fan interaction as possible. I want you guys involved as much as possible. Sharing any games and stuff like that. Always on the table. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys are having a good Sunday. Get some sun. It's a little windy, at least in California. But yeah, go outside, enjoy, and yeah, peace. Oh, and send in song requests. We love song requests here. I had one the other day that I think I'll play at the start of my next stream. But yeah.
I'm that boy you can call on the regular. You need a real one, hit me on my cellular. And we go downtown, go see a movie, go to some concerts, maybe smoke a doobie. It ain't stopping, girl, your body rocking. Call me, I'm your best friend, cause we always get it poppin'. We get it poppin', this music's what I'm dropping. When I come to the spot, I'm the one you want to be talking to. I am the one you want to be talking to. You can keep me for a couple hours, days, or a